Panel de Pon is a Nintendo, is like a version of Pokemon Puzzle Challenge or Puzzle League. Those are the games that you probably know the most. The idea for the easy difficulty is to do this and just defeat your get 6 to 7 lines of garbage and defeat your opponent using chains and combos quickly. So the idea of the game is to make matches of 3 or more, and then you can do stuff like this. This is an example of a chain. And as you can see, anything that you get that is more than 3 pieces at once is called a combo. Combos are going to be red. Chains are going to be green. Like I said, you're trying to get an easy and normal and hard. You're trying to get fairly high. You're trying to get a decent amount of combos in and out. You might want the thing that you want to pay attention to is that you have your opponent on the right, and depending upon how high or low the stack is, that will determine how many rows of garbage you want to send. Like that opponent was very close to the top, so you can easily. So I could easily not do that much and still be able to defeat that opponent fairly easily. That is not going to be the case later on. In fact, when we get into harder difficulties, you're going to see that it's going to be much more difficult to defeat them, and I am 1 line short on that person. The names, unfortunately, this game is in Japanese. It was Japanese released only. So the names of the characters, you can see them in the bottom left if you're really fast, but for the most part, you're not gonna. I don't know most of the names off the top of my head, so unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to help you in that matter. Times 5 is too much for this opponent because of how close to the top they are. But as you'd expect, easy is easy. It's very easy. Times you're looking for are between 8 and 15 seconds. There are only 9 stages in easy. At the beginning of every stage, I raise in order to get myself the most number of panels to work with. And that is generally what is done with high-level players of this game. So far, it's been kind of a slow easy, but I'm fine with that. The main thing is going to be the last 2 difficulties, which I am going to be doing Manipulus. There's one caveat to that, which I'll explain when we get there. Okay, it's good that I sent more garbage, because the AI in this game is extremely good. It's the only downside to it is actually the same downside that Pokemon Puzzle League opponents have, and that is that they only clear based on the lowest garbage that you can get, or that they can reach. So, say there's a piece of garbage that's all the way down in the second line from the bottom. They won't mess with any panels above that, and that's the one thing that is the reason for the AI manipulation, and that's why it works. Anyways, this is Lion, and it is the last stage in this difficulty. You're going to see the AI get much harder from here on. So that's the first difficulty down already. We are going to be moving on to normal after this. We just get a whole nice congratulations, and then we go back to start. We go to versus common, we go straight into normal. And we do this for all 5 of the difficulties available in this game. Normal is going to be much harder. I'm going to have to be more on point with my chains and combos. Ooh, I'm a little short. Still a little short. Okay, that's fine though. Normal, it's going to take 7 to 8 lines of garbage, depending upon how high or low they are. The right side opponents are. If they're really high, then it's going to take a while to defeat them. Or really low, sorry. That should be good. Again, it was probably too much. The one thing about this game that you really need to be aware of is you need to be aware of both sides of your the screen at the same time. If you're not paying attention to the opponent's side of the screen, you won't know how much or little garbage to send, and that can be a real problem in the later difficulties. You might see some tricks that I might do. I'll try and explain them if I can. There's things that I call corner grabs that you should be able to see me do. They're 2-frame tricks. The next time I do one, I'll point it out. And then after that, there is actually an even harder trick, which is frame perfect, which is catching a panel in midair. Again, I'll see if I can do that, but chances are I probably won't, because there is frame perfect, like I said. Another thing that you want to do is mix combos in with chains, because it'll give you combo and chain garbage at the same time. And as I said, you're trying to fill their screen to the top as fast as possible, so that they don't know what hit them. Again, raising all the way to the top, because that's the fastest way to get a lot of garbage on their side. Although this hasn't been the best of starts. Hopefully this doesn't continue into the later difficulties, because the later difficulties are much harder than these. Okay, well I got enough garbage there, but that was a slow time. And normally you're looking for 10 to 15 second times still. One thing I do want to mention is that I am the current world record holder of this category, easy to very hard. I got it yesterday, actually, or 2 days ago. The previous time was a 1 something, and the time I got was a 142, and then the time I got was a 132. So I lowered the world record by 10 minutes. Again, this game is not conducive to talking and playing at the same time, because it actually requires a lot of focus. So, and also because I'm doing the no AI manipulation in the last 2 difficulties, I'm just letting you know right now, this run has no chance of world recording or PBing. Because the AI manipulation is the main reason why I was able to get world record. That should be good, actually. Yep. That should kill. So that's what you're looking for. Nice and easy kills, 10-15 seconds. You're good. Unlike the last difficulty, this difficulty goes all the way to stage 13. So it adds 4 stage, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, 4 stages onto it. Onto the previous difficulty. One thing you might notice is that even though the opponent reaches the very top, they don't die immediately. That is what is called stop time. When the screen shakes, when the screen shakes from garbage falling, when any clears are being made or when any chains are being made on the opponent's side or your side, you cannot die. And when you reach the top, you have to wait a certain period of time before you actually defeat your opponent. Again, this is Lion. He's not that difficult on normal, but this is a difficulty spike in this difficulty. That should have been a corner grab, by the way, what I just did there, but it wasn't. He's still alive, still clearing, still chaining. Got the clear, which is really bad. Whenever your opponents get clears, it's always bad for you because it just adds more and more time onto the run. Like, that was a horrendous time. But like as I said before, your opponents are going to get harder and more intelligent the further on you get in the game. This is Kick Chop. Don't ask me why his name is Kick Chop. It just is. But that is going to be enough. That should kill. One thing I should note is watch the opponent's cursor speed as we continue on through the game. You're going to notice that their cursor speed is going to get faster and faster and faster until very hard, when it's going to be insane. Anyways, this is Joker. And that was a leg chain. But Joker is pretty non-threatening in this difficulty. Like I said, really non-threatening. Later difficulties, though, he's very threatening. Anyways, next up we have Sanitos, which is actually a mislocalization. This should be actually be Thanatos. Sorry for the frame drops there, nothing I can do about it, but we should be back now. As I was saying, this is a mislocalization. It's a mislocalization of Thanatos as Sanitos. It should not be Sanitos. But next we're on Cordelia, which should be Cordelia. This is the last stage in normal. And this is another difficulty spike in the game as well. But we're done with normal. So now we go on to hard, where the game starts to get difficult. Starting, there's one major point I need to point out. I cannot lose at any point during this difficulty. If I do, I have to redo the entire difficulty. Because the very last fight in this difficulty, can only be attained if you go without continuing the game. Otherwise, the whole thing about getting as many, about getting 7 to 8 lines is the same. So, hard is hard. It's hard. It's pretty difficult, especially when you get towards the end. This goes all the way to stage 15, which is all the stages in this difficulty. You're going to notice that the computer players are going to be much, much more aggressive in this difficulty, and that's going to pave the way for how difficult they're going to be in the next two difficulties. I'm going to go ahead and explain the caveats to the no manipulation for the last 2 difficulties now. The caveat is I am not going to be going for it purposely. There is still a chance that I can actually get it accidentally just by playing the game, and those will not count for the incentive. The only thing that counts for the incentive is for me not to do it purposely. So that's the one caveat, and you'll know when I get manipulation. It's basically like I said, you get a small piece of garbage low, and they can't clear anything above it, and they die. That's pretty much it. Like I said, though, I'm not going to be going for it, so if you want to see that, you should look at a run, one of the world record runs and stuff like that. They're going to be the place for you to actually see it in action. Because, like I said, I will point it out if I get it accidentally, but like I said, I'm not going to be going for it actually going for it purposely. And you'll see what I mean by going for it accidentally in the later difficulties, because the later difficulties is going to be where I am literally going to stop talking because of how difficult it is going to be. Again, that was overkill, but want to make sure it dies, and it dies quickly. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the names of all of the characters, because I don't know the names of all of the characters in the NPC game by heart. I just know like the last couple, because they're the ones that cause a lot of grief. Okay, we're actually getting really, really good times on this difficulty. This difficulty, I am specifically looking for 15 to 20 second times. Anything below 20 seconds is fine. One thing I want to mention is this fairy, I believe it's Neris. Well, it is Neris in the other games, but in this game, I'm not sure if it's Neris or not. But whenever she gets a chain or a combo, it sounds like she sings "Screw You," and I'm not making that up. When we get to her in the next 2 difficulties, you'll have plenty of time to hear what I mean. But it really sounds like she's saying "Screw You" every single time she gets a chain or a combo. This is Sala. And she's the oh-ho-ho lady. One of them. There's 2 of them in this game. The second... Well, actually, there's only 1 in this game. There's 2 in the... original version of the game, which is Cordelia and that opponent. But in this game, she's the only one that's the oh-ho-ho lady. Now we have Lion, again. It's just that he's going to be a lot harder this time. He should be dead. Yep, 15 seconds. good time on Lion. So like I said, there's not much I can talk about now. I've already talked about pretty much all of the explanations that I've needed to explain about this game so far. There's gonna be more that I'm gonna need to explain very quickly in the next difficulty, especially. One thing I should actually explain is that these are the most chain-heavy opponents in any of the Panel de Pon Puzzle League series of games. These opponents on the highest difficulty can give you mystery chains, which are up to 15-16 times chains. And just to give you an example of like Pokemon Puzzle League, the highest chain they can give you is like a 10 times. So they really made these opponents extraordinarily hard in this game, which is why they are considered by most to be the hardest AI in Puzzle League history. And I would actually agree with them. That was actually a very good time there, 12 seconds. But we are back to Sanitos. I actually like Sanitos' theme quite a bit. I used to not like it, but I like it quite a bit. That should be good. Ah, got it clear. Of course he did. Got another clear. There we go. So, like I was saying earlier, you do not want to get opponents. You do not want to have opponents clear on you. One thing I forgot to do is open chat. Sorry about that, guys. I should have opened chat before I started this run. Oh well. That should be good. Yep, 19 seconds on Cordelia, that's good. Now you're going to get introduced to my favorite character of the game, which is Zilba. And this is a team fight against Zilba. You are fighting with Kane, who is actually the lion. Don't ask me why that's the case, it just is. But Zilba is the last fight you have to worry about losing on. If you lose to him, you still have to redo the entire difficulty because of the fact that you won't get the final fight. But I am more than good enough that that will not happen. Should be dead soon. There we go. So now we have the final fight, which are they each have their own name, but we just call them the witches because there's 3 of them. I think it's Mandari, Higiri, and something else, but this is the final fight in the last 3 difficulties, and they are difficult. That's that difficulty. Now we go on to the incentive difficulties, super hard and very hard. One thing though, in order to save time, I need to reset. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the last 2 difficulties as well, because that cutscene at the very end is like 3 minutes long. And in in any difficulty setting, you do not watch that. So we are on to super hard, and we are not going to be doing manipulations. So I am going to let you listen to the music, because I'm not going to be able to talk during this difficulty.
As Razor is unable to speak, I will be speaking for a little bit here. Don't forget that we do have the donation still open at the moment. If you do want to go and donate, just follow the link that's on your screen at the moment, matiltify.com/instasim/instaspeedathon-2020. We currently have £110.50 currently donated to EveryoneCan. They are an amazing charity based in Manchester, helping disabled people get into gaming. If we can break £200 by the end of the day today, that would be absolutely fantastic. We currently haven't got any new donations in since we started again, but if you do have any donations to make, feel free to do them. We also have a few incentives left for tomorrow and also for Sunday as well, if anybody would like to have a look at them as well.
One thing I am going to need to mention, though, really quick, are the exclamation mark blocks. They're called shock blocks. Shock blocks send a different type of garbage called steel garbage over to your opponents, and it counts as a different kind of garbage, so it takes more time to get rid of, since it counts as a separate separate garbage. That's the only other thing I have to explain, so I'm going to go back to not talking, because like I said, this difficulty is very hard. as you guys can see, this is where the game starts to get insane. And it's only going to get more and more insane from here. One final thing I should add is keep an eye on the opponent's cursor speed from now on. So that is what I'm going to be aiming for in super hard and very hard, are force kills like that, where they have no panels left and you basically kill them because they can't clear the garbage. and that is an unintentional manipulation there. No. So that is what the manipulation looks like. Like I said, I didn't do it on purpose, so it doesn't count towards the incentive. And that's an example of how these fights can go on super hard and very hard. Okay, I'll go ahead and give you some commentary for the last two fights. So as you can see, my plan of attack is lots of chains, combos, just anything I can pull. Because this is where they start pulling absolutely no punches whatsoever. They just start pulling stuff left and right. And it just makes for some very, very, very difficult play. It's fine if I lose. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet for the rest of the run. If hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the run. So I will be back to call time. Okay then, that was another unintentional manipulation. But that's the end of super hard. Now we're going to go on to the difficulty where I actually am going to have to be quiet for the entire thing. This is very hard, and like I said before, watch the opponent's cursor speed here, especially here. This is where fights can go as long as 10, 15, 20 plus minutes without manipulation. So, hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys at the end. Good start. Like I said before, keep an eye on the opponent's cursor speed on the right.
Please, everybody, remember to donate
Again, like I said, it's normal to lose on very hard without manips.
Please remember to donate to the cause by going to the link below, the tiltify.com/@InstaSpeedathon 2020. You can donate to the amazing cause to Everyone Can. They're a fantastic charity based in Manchester, helping disabled kids get into gaming. Our goal by the end of the weekend is to get to £1,000, but if we can get to £200 at the end of today, that'll be absolutely fantastic. We're not too far away. If we can get there, it would be absolutely great. We do have a range of incentives and polls available on the Tiltify page as well, so please make sure to check those out, and anything you think is interesting, you can also donate towards them. And we'll carry on with the speedrun.
This opponent here is Raya, or Raya. And that, again, if you weren't here when I was talking about that earlier, that is what those are what I'm looking for. Those are called force kills. And again, just gotta keep pounding away and you'll get it eventually. Just barely ran out of stop time there. Should have been able to finish it off there, but oh well. Okay, now that we're done with that, we get into the extremely hard stages. Like I said, watch the enemy's cursor speed on the right. That is insane. That is a force kill in 18 seconds. That is actually insane. Wow. I do want to mention that I have beaten this difficulty with 0 continues. Just a few stages left. 13, 14, 15. That's it. Or 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, now these next three start to get insane. So just have fun with these. 2 more. Last fight. Time is going to be when the cursor disappears. Yep. That's fine. One more continue. Ah, fuck. Never mind. I actually didn't know that if you lose, you actually... Let me just check something really quick. Yeah. Okay, then. So, I actually didn't know that if you lose on the witches fight, you actually can't continue from that. So... Time? Yeah, so I guess that is...
I've got a time of 1:33:09.
Well, the run it didn't finish because I lost to the witches. The very last fight I lost, and I did not know that if you if you lose to that fight, you actually lose the run. That's interesting. So the run basically finished. The only thing is I didn't finish the last fight, which is the wishes. Because when I game over on the witches, it did not give me a thing to continue. So, but you basically saw the entire game, so I would still say that's a finished. I mean, it wasn't expected. I actually didn't even know about it, so apologies.
Finished, but not quite finished, I'm assuming.
Yes, not quite finished, and this is something I'm actually gonna have to go and let the mods know, so that they can amend the rules. But that was that run, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Apologies for the last two difficulties not being able to do commentary, but I could not do commentary and play at the same time when playing the last two difficulties, as I am pretty sure it was apparent. Because of the amount of focus that's needed. Anyways, that's my first run. My second run's going to be tomorrow, about 3 hours earlier than this run was, so about 9:40 a.m. my time. That would be around 3:40 p.m. your GMT. So if you guys come and join me for that. But then I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Thanks for having me, InstaSim, and good luck to the rest of the runners.
Thank you very much for coming to InstaSpeedathon. Thank you very much for the run. And I will see you again tomorrow.
Yep, see you.